This is Kachi, aka Delakaba, here with the one and only Eric S. How are you doing, my dear?
I'm well. I'm starting to get hungry.
Okay, me too. We are here in Vintage Story, a voxel-based crafting survival game. Don't look at it and go, "Oh, Minecraft." No, no, no.
No, no, no.
There is no tree punching up in this business. You need real tools to do things, and it is its own unique survival crafting experience. We are in a fresh, brand new map, and we are going to show you guys not only how to survive your first couple of days in Vintage Story, but this will be a proper Let's Play. We are here in an awesome area. It is actually kind of a jungly, bamboo kind of forest area, and the reason we decided to go with this start is because it's going to be a tougher start than we usually have. So let's talk a little bit about controls and how we get going. WASD to move around, space bar to jump, left control in order to sprint, and shift in order to sneak. Now you will note the lovely Eriketh is going around picking up sticks and stones, and when you begin, this is not like other survival games where the first thing you do is punch a tree. No, what you need to do is find stones on the ground as well as gather sticks. Now, if you can find flint, flint is your good friend and will make some of the toughest tools. However, a lot of other types of stone will allow you to construct tools. We've got some basalt and some obsidian here in the neighborhood. There is some loose flint. I'm just left-clicking to break it and pick it up. This bamboo is harvestable, but what we really need is sticks, and we can find sticks on the ground, or we can get it from bushes and trees. Now, if you look at this column of oak leaves here, you'll see our top block, how you can see right through it, completely transparent. And then the one below it, how you can't see through it. The one below it that you cannot see through are the kind that have sticks at the center. And if you break those, you will get sticks. However, if we break the one you can see through, no sticks. So, first things first, we're going to get ourselves some sticks and stones to make tools. I'm going to just bust some foliage here that has the sticks in the center and get a good pile of sticks. Now, when you start the game, you will have 3 or 4 in-game days before the primary nasties start to show up to make life difficult. They are called drifters, and they are not your friends. However, there are still dangers here in the world. In the region that we're in, the primary danger is going to be hyenas. There are wild boars. There are goats. Bighorn sheep. There are chickens and other critters around. However, the hyenas and the wolves are the scary ones, especially the wolves. The wolves will wreck you in a hurry. So it's very important that early on we manage to get ourselves some shelter, create some fire, start gathering some food, because the hunger comes quickly. Now,
and it is real.
Yeah. If you start in a temperate zone, unlike this tropical zone that we're in, you've got a huge advantage because you will easily find berry bushes of all different sorts. You will easily find cattails, which are a very, very important early game asset, because not only with the correct harvesting will they provide you food, but they also provide you with cattails you can use to craft. Now, if we look at the bottom of our screen, all the way on the left, do you see that red bar? That red bar is your health. The green bar is your hunger. Of course, that green bar empties out as we get more and more hungry. Below that, we have our actual hot bar itself, and the mark all the way to the left is actually our left hand. And if we take our torch and drop it in there, we'll now carry our torch in our left hand, have light all the time. Then we have our hotspots here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 0, and that is the totality of our inventory. Very important to understand that you will have only those slots to hold things until you begin to add either baskets, sacks, or backpacks in these 4 right-hand slots. You will then have more slots appear in this box here that says inventory and crafting. By the way, I hit E to open that inventory, E to open it and close it. So it's very important that as soon as possible, we get ourselves some reeds, some cattails, in order to expand our inventories. Now, Erketh has begun making tools. The initial tools are made by knapping. Knapping is the process of using one stone to strike another stone and shape a resulting tool head out of the stone. She is making an axe head. And I'm going to show you guys how it is that we actually go about that process. I was hoping to find a little flint. I do have some obsidian and some basalt, but we're going to see if we can find some loose flint lying around, just because there's a very minor difference between using raw stone like this and using loose flint. There we go, a piece of loose flint. We're going to grab a little more basalt, and we are solid. And let's come over here, grab these sticks. Sticks and stones may break my bamboo, but names will not break my bamboo, and therefore use your sticks and stones. Now we are going to make some tools, and this is how it works. If you have flint, hold that flint in your hand, hold down your left shift and click the ground a short distance out in front of you, right click, bing, and you will get a select recipe box. This will allow you to choose flint arrowheads, flint axe head, flint knife blade, flint shovel head, or flint spearhead. I am going to make a flint axe head. So by selecting that now, as long as I'm holding any sort of stone in my hand, it makes no difference what kind of stone, I will be able to start knapping away these little highlighted squares around the axe head. The thing that's cool is in multiplayer, other players can also, as long as they're holding a stone, knap away at the same tool head. So what I'm going to do is left click with my crosshair on these little guys and pop them off. And if 2 people are working on this, whoever removes the very last little chit of stone is the person who will end up receiving the completed tool head. I hear baby piggies.
I heard him too.
And so chippity, 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 chippity. We've got 1 highlighted block left, and as soon as I clear that, bing, that axe head will jump into my inventory. Now, if I put that in the center of my crafting grid, I add a stick below it, we will get a stone axe. This is a flint axe. Now, I made that out of flint, but we can also craft tools out of stone, but it works ever so slightly differently. When I hold shift and I right-click the ground the first time, it's just going to drop the stone. That's so if you've got stones and you want to get rid of them, you can just place them down. So if I'm still holding shift and I click it a second time, now we will get our crafting interface. I am going to make a lovely obsidian shovel head. Bing. And as long as I'm holding any kind of stone in my hand, I can begin to chippity, 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 and chip it away. Now, as I said, we have 3 or 4 days before the nasties start showing up. There have been no sign of hyenas in this area, so we're okay to be awake during the night on this first night or 2. Get some tools made and gather some resources. All right, so there we have our shovel. Now we're going to make our next tool. Hold down shift, right click 1, right click 2 while holding down shift, and we have access to this. We're going to select obsidian knife blade. Now when you do knife blades, it will give you 2 of them. And so we're actually going to split out 2 knife blades, and technically this is more of a burn than a knife blade, but I will tuck my anthropologist away because if the game says it's a knife blade, it is a knife blade. I like the obsidian ones. They're pretty. What you doing? Bing. There we go. Let's put that again right in the crafting grid. Put a stick below it, and now we have a knife. Knives are my friends. Some of my best friends are knives. We're going to go ahead and get that guy there. And the last thing we're going to do is we are going to make a spear. The spear is your friend. Remember, shift right click will place a stone down. Shift right click a second time will get us our crafting interface. Select obsidian spearhead. Now, the spear is a very good early game weapon because you can hold it in your hand and stab things in the face from a distance using left click, or you can use right click to draw it back and throw it. A thrown spear does more damage than a handheld spear. However, except for chickens, there's really nothing in the game that you are going to one-shot with a spear. Okay, as a matter of fact, it can take anywhere from 8 to 12 stabs with a basic stone spear to put down any of the NPC creatures. Okay, so very important to know that if you're going to be using your spear as a thrown weapon, you're going to want to make sure you've got several of them and you are in a protected position when you attempt to use them. But all right, now that we've got these basic tools done, it's very important that we have some fire early on, and creating fire is not a difficult process. With my knife in my hand, I'm going to break a piece of grass, and you will see that I have now gotten dry grass. The next thing that we're going to want to do is either chop a tree or cut some bamboo. And if we cut the bamboo, we can use the bamboo segment that drop right as they are. However, if we cut a tree, we will have to split it into firewood. So I am actually going to bring down some of this kapok tree to show you guys how we make some firewood. Building fire in the game is fairly easy. You don't need flint and steel. You don't need to rub two sticks together. You just need to properly construct your campfire in order to get it to light. There we go. We're going to gather up this kapok, and you'll notice that we've got a sapling here, and that was keeping me from picking up the pieces of kapok. All right, so if we take our axe, we put it in the center of our crafting grid, and we place kapok logs below it, that will allow us to get 3 firewood from each segment of kapok log. I'm just going to get, maybe 5 of those, and the rest I'm going to maintain as kapok because we can use those to build with. But what we want to do is we are going to have ourselves a piece of dry grass. So I'm just going to drop this obsidian, I think, just while I use this grass. Take the grass in your hand. You are going to shift and right-click the ground with the grass in your hand, and that's going to place that grass on the ground. Now you're going to want to get the firewood or the raw bamboo in your hand, and you're going to shift and begin right-clicking that same location. 1 log down, 2 log down, 3 log down. When you place the 4th log, the fire will ignite. Pow. There we go. Now there's 2 ways for us to add wood to this fire. I can right-click while highlighting the hitbox on the fire and manually drop wood into this lower section, okay? Or, while I'm holding wood in my hand, I can hold shift, and each right click will add a single log to the fire. And in this case, I'm just going to add all those logs there, and you can see when I open it now, there are 11 logs in there. If you have sticks, you can take and add sticks and use them as fuel by putting them in down below, or put them at the top, and it will create torches. So we're going to make a couple of torches. Ooh, excuse me. And I believe probably at first light, a food expedition is going to be an important thing to do. Yes, my dear?
Yes.
Because I don't know about you, but I am hungry.
I've been starting to gather bamboo so that we can get our housing situation started.
Okay. Just going to grab these torches. I'm going to put them right in my left-hand stack, and they will stay there ever so very happily. I'm going to pull this wood out of the fire, and if you have firewood, you don't have to constantly carry it around. Just pick a spot on the ground while it's in your hand, just shift and right-click, and it will begin to stack it on the ground in a nice, neat stack. And you can just store your firewood there in the stack. And shall I put down some Capock?
Put down some what? I didn't hear you.
Capock. If I go 1, 2, and 3. Let's see. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spaces and come to 6, 2, 3, and do the same this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and at 6, 1, 2, 3. Because I don't have enough capock to continue up. I'll have to cut another tree. However, shall we build an elevated house? Just have a ladder going up, or shall we build on the ground and then eventually elevate? Or what do you think, my survival darling?
I think we should build a house on the ground and then bring it up later.
Okay. Well, I have gotten us a little more capock.
But I would say that we should move it over a little bit.
Well, I mean, if you want it a different way, I'll just cut the capock and pick it back up again. I should have known better. I should have just left it to you.
It's fine.
'Cause nothing's ever good enough.
Oh.
I'm gonna go someplace and eat some worms. This is my capock. You can get your own damn capock. Now, I've got 15 capock here that you can use for framing, or are you just gonna build in bamboo? I mean, you have to tell me what it is that you want. I was just trying to get something up so that we could go on a food expedition in the morning.
Yeah.
Mark your 4 corners, woman. Mark your 4 corners. Do you want the capock to build the corner frames? That's all I was trying to ascertain.
Yeah, that would be great.
Well, then here. Take your capock. If you need to drop bamboo, toss it to me or whatever, and I will hold on to it.
Thank you.
Yep. I'll just plant these little dudes like that. Get them out of our inventory. But yeah, if you place your 4 corners, then I know the space we're working in. It can take a lot of axes to build big, and so I didn't want to make any assumptions about the size, but we wanted it to at least be big enough to be able to be functional. So, and I will cut us grass so that we can get a simple grass bed put together for each of us. How's that sound?
Sounds great.
Now, an important thing to know with the game, your spawn point is set to whatever place it was that you spawned in when you started your map. It is not until you get a special item called a temporal gear that you can change your spawn point. Beds do not automatically change your spawn point. This is not Minecraft. It may be square and it may share some flavor with Terra Firma Craft, but this is not Minecraft. Don't make any assumptions. All right. She has got her basic layout. I do have 1 bamboo block for you here. There you go. So, what we're going to do now is we are going to take this dry grass and we're just going to distribute it in a square, just like that. And that, you will notice, does not create a block. We've got to go 1 more over, and that will create hay blocks, okay? We are going to want to create a number of them, 1, 2, 3 right there. And if we can make them, we total of 6 to make our lives easier. There is another one. And we're going to need to get just a few more dry grass to make one more. So let's go ahead and do that. While Erica is busily laying things out. Now, any dirt block will eventually grow grass, and it's just as simple as that. You don't have to worry about, if you put dirt blocks up on your ceiling as your roof, they're going to eventually grow grass. And so that can actually be very, very useful.
All right, I'm dying of hunger.
Well, what we need to do is we need to go and find some tasty, tasty cattails. Yes?
Yes.
Because cattail roots are awesome. All right, so what I am making here is I am making some straw beds. And we are going to just place them down right here. They will allow us to sleep through part of the night, but they will not reset our spawn point. All right, my dear. Well, you can see we've got a mini map up in the top right corner of our screen. If we hit M, it will open the mini map. And what we are looking for is emerald green areas. It looks over to the east and slightly south. We have some emerald green. That is more temperate area, and in theory, there could be cattails in that area.
Ah.
So, how about we go and see if there are any cattails over there?
That would be fantastic.
All right, let's rock and roll then. It'll be up this way.
I'm just trying to get stuff out of my inventory so I can carry things, but...
Yep.
All right, I did pick up some flint for you, so I've got that to share.
Okay.
Oh.
Sorry, I just threw away some dry grass.
It's okay.
Yeah, we do have a lake over here.
I don't have a knife. So
I have two.
I thought that might be the case. I have some obsidian, which actually has some pretty high durability, and so if you can't find flint, obsidian is kind of your next best choice, according to the game mechanics.
Here's a bit more obsidian, and we've got some sticks here we'll pick up. Okay, yes, we've got cattails out there in this lake. And as you can see, as it's turning more emerald green in this area, that's what's to the right of us here. And so there they are. So let us go do this. Now, one of the things that makes cattails important, of course, is they are a food source. But what also makes them... Ooh, clay. Awesome.
Clay! Yeah.
All right.
That's why.
Okay, that was the next important thing, is we were going to have to hunt some clay. So that being there makes life a better place to be. Now, I am going to be picking up some dirt blocks. The reason I am going to be picking up some dirt blocks is so that if we end up bumping into anything awesome or nasty that needs to be killified, I can elevate myself. And granite stones, huh? I can elevate myself and fight from up there. Well,
can you toss me?
I am going to toss you a kniffy. A kniffy for my wifey. There we go. All right, now, if we use an empty hand or any other item and we break one of these reeds, the entire plant will vanish, and what we will get is a cattail. However, if we use a knife and we break the plant, we'll actually get 2 breaks. The first break will give us that plant top, and the second break will give us the cattail root. And the cattail root is some good eaten.
Okay, I got the tops if you want to do the bottoms.
Yes.
But I'm about to start taking damage, so...
Absolutely. I will start gathering the roots if you want to gather the tops. And I will get a fire going right over here and get some roots cooking so that we can do something about our hunger situation. So we're just going to grab a little grass here, and then we will need to get some firewood. Yep, that is the sound of Ereketh beginning to take damage. So we're going to shift right-click to get some grass down, and we'll have to break the tree here because there's not any bamboo like uber close. Come on, tree. There we go. And we can use sticks in the fire once the fire is established, but we have to have firewood or the pieces of bamboo to establish the fire. So let's get the firewood. And let's get the fire made. And let's get the roots in their fire. There we go. We're just going to throw that whole pile of firewood right in there. They are cooking, my dear. Now, why can I not shift right-click to add to the fire? I don't understand what's going on here. All right. Just keep an eye on it, and you should see edibles any moment. I've got a few moments yet before things go south on me, so I'm going to gather some more roots here. So she has cut the tops of the plants, and what I'm doing now is I'm going in and I'm doing the bottoms of the plants to collect their roots. Now the tops of the plants we're going to use to weave baskets, and those baskets will allow us to expand our inventories, and then eventually we'll actually be able to create some placeable baskets that we can actually put down inside our little house and store some items.